Do I need supplements and vitamins? And if so, which ones? How much? What brands? These are all great questions, and it can sure be confusing. I know I have often felt overwhelmed by this, and sometimes I still do. So today I'm going to cover who I'm currently taking advice from, what I'm using and why, which brands, and hopefully that'll give you some ideas of how you can begin to body hack for yourself and determine what vitamins and supplements are going to be right for you. I'm Jackie Ulmer. Grab my guide on all things nutrition, environment, and lower toxins over at lowertoxiclife.com. Now, I'm also going to cover how to read labels and avoid those fillers that your body doesn't truly need and doesn't serve you well. So first, let me just begin with this. We are all bio individuals, so you have to begin to test and experiment with what your own body needs. Years ago, I listened to a tape called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And in it was a story by a man who had a porta potty business, and he took the researcher who was trying to learn more out back and showed him a small hill of undigested vitamins that were filtered out of the toilet units after the use. I've heard it said before, a lot of people have very expensive pee, to be completely blunt. The quality of the vitamins that you take, along with how it's processed in your body, matter. And this is where people like you and I can become very confused if we aren't scientists or doctors. So as a reminder, I am not a scientist or a doctor, and I'm sharing what I have researched, learned, and experimented with, and what I do personally, and none of this should be considered advice for you. Now, here are the health factors and goals that I use to decide what's best for me. I eat a very clean, largely organic diet with very few processed and certainly very few ultra-processed foods. So I do rely on food to provide a lot of my vitamins and minerals. There are plenty of debates out there about our depleted soil and water systems, etc. Now, I know that a confused mind says no, so I'm just doing my best, as you probably are as well. I don't personally want to take 20 pills or more a day, and I'm guessing that you don't either. So take a look at how much you eat and what type of food that you eat. Is it mostly living food? How much is ultra processed? How much daily sunlight do you get? That's a big source of vitamin D for someone like me living in the Arizona desert. Do you have health issues, joint pain, inflammation, digestive issues, excess weight, etc.? And what has your doctor advised for you? Not all supplements are the same, and just like food, you have to learn to read labels and look for fillers. Some common fillers in vitamins and supplements are used to bind, bulk up, or stabilize the active ingredients. These fillers also serve various purposes, such as improving the manufacturing process, extending shelf life, or enhancing the appearance and taste of the product. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to be careful what I put in my body, and I don't need a flavor enhancer or any of these other procedures if they're not absolutely critical, and they seem to be more for the manufacturer than for actually serving me, the end consumer. So here are some of the most commonly used fillers. Microcrystalline cellulose, a refined wood pulp used to provide bulk and stability to tablets and capsules. It acts as a binder and a disintegrant. These create absorption and help the supplement break down within your body. Magnesium stearate, a lubricant that prevents ingredients from sticking to manufacturing equipment. This also acts as a flow agent, ensuring the uniformity of the mixture. Silicone dioxide, an anti-caking agent that prevents powders from clumping together. It's often used in capsule and tablet formulations. Gelatin, derived from animal collagen. Gelatin is used to make the capsules and some soft gels. It's also a binding agent. Dicalcium phosphate, used as a binder and to add bulk to tablets. I'm curious, why do we need extra bulk? It also provides a source of calcium and phosphorus. That's great, but do they really work well with the supplement that I'm taking? These are all questions that I ask myself. Maltodextrin. This is a carbohydrate derived from starch used as a filler to improve the texture and taste of powders and tablets. if you've watched my video on stevia and ultra-processed foods, I talk a lot about maltodextrin and the harmful effects that it can have on the body and the brain in terms of enticing us to eat more foods because it's so sweet. Stearic acid, another lubricant that prevents tablet ingredients from sticking to machinery and each other. Cellulose in various forms, used as a filler, binder, disintegrant. Different forms include powdered cellulose and hydroxypropyl cellulose. Whew, it's a mouthful. Lactose, a sugar derived from milk, commonly used as a filler in tablets and capsules. It can also serve as a stabilizer. This is where you want to be really careful because if you're lactose intolerant or don't do well with dairy, you want to steer clear. Starches such as cornstarch, again, used as fillers, binders, and disintegrants. They help to give tablets their shape and consistency. Talc, used as a glidant to improve the flow of powder blends during the tablet manufacturing process. You really want to be careful with talc. Johnson & Johnson went through a major lawsuit a few years back for some of their baby products with talc in it. Sucrose, used as a sweetener and binder, especially in chewable tablets and liquid formulations. Titanium dioxide, used as a whitening agent and opacifier to make tablets and capsules more visually appealing. Polyethylene glycol, or PEG, used as a binder, solvent, and plasticizer to improve the consistency and release of active ingredients. Now, most of these fillers, if you research them with the EPA or the FDA or something like that, they're often generally considered safe for consumption in the amounts used in supplements. However, many of us have sensitivities and allergies to certain fillers. And again, I ask, how well do these really work in the entire process of allowing these vitamins, supplements, nutrients, and minerals to really assimilate into our body? That's a question I have. And of course, as always, consult with any healthcare professional if you have concerns about any of this. So next up, which experts should you listen to? Well, after years of struggling with just supplements in general, which ones are good, what brands to use, and who to listen to, I have chosen Dr. Mark Hyman. This is his book, Young Forever, which I will be doing a book review on here shortly. I have most of his books, and he really has become my go-to expert for most things. I followed him for a long time, and I really appreciate his background as a medical doctor and a functional medicine doctor, and he aligns very, very closely with my philosophies. So I'm going to mostly trust his judgment, and I also trust my own body and have learned to listen to see how things settle, how they feel within my body. In his book, Young Forever, in chapter 15, that's his chapter on supplements. I also, over at citations.lowertoxiclife.com, you will find my reference to his resource page from the book where you can access everything that's detailed in here in terms of what he recommends. But in chapter 15, he writes, confusion, misinformation, incomplete research, and conflicting data, inadequate regulation for quality standards in manufacturing, purity, and potency, and how to choose supplements is a potential minefield. That completely summed up and described how I have felt for years trying to choose brands and supplements and make sure that they work well together, that I was taking them at the right time, with meals, without meals, etc. In the book, he talks a lot about the debate among doctors and how so many of them choose to ignore this area of health. I use my own litmus test. Do I understand it? Do I understand supplements and what their role is in my body? Does it seem logical to me? Can and will I do it? And ultimately, what do I have to lose by at least trying it? And what if it does help? Decades later, I can say based on my own body hacking, that supplements and vitamins taken correctly do work for me. I continue to fall into that 12% of Americans who are metabolically healthy. And this is based on all my lab work and tests that I have done on an annual basis and the overall way I feel and perform in my body and living my best life. So these are some of the recommendations by Dr. Mark Hyman. And some of these brands I was so happy I was already using from other medical professionals that I've worked with. Vitamin D3, a multivitamin and mineral. Magnesium glycinate or citrate. And a big important thing about this is magnesium glycate for those who do not have constipation. And if that's an area that you struggle with, you'll want to choose magnesium citrate. Both are available from a company called Pure Encapsulations, or I use Thorne powdered magnesium, which carries both of these. And it's another brand that Dr. Hyman recommends and uses himself. So I felt good about that. And I was already using the Thorne brand. Probiotics. I use the Pure Encapsulations probiotic. Quercetin, curcumin, and berberine. We'll talk more about berberine. It acts a little bit like Ozempic. And again, go to my citations.lowertoxiclife.com and you will find my reference to Dr. Mark Hyman's resources page. So what am I currently taking? Why and what brands? Well, as I mentioned, I don't want to take 20 pills a day, preferably. So I have about 7 vitamins and supplements that I use on a daily basis. The first one is Vitality Rescue. It's a turmeric and curcumin combination. I use this for joint and inflammation. Next, I take glutathione. I use the Now brand. Super happy with the Now brand for the most part. This is anti-aging, insulin regulation, cancer, and mercury in the brain. I also know that most Americans have a deficiency in zinc. So I use the Garden of Life zinc product. Now, I use the Pure Encapsulations, and this is one that Dr. Mark Hyman recommends. And I did start taking this one based on his recommendation. This is my multivitamin that I take daily. And then vitamin D, I mentioned that even though I live in the Arizona desert and I'm out in the sun just about every single day, most people around the world, unless you live in a really sunlit area, most people suffer from a vitamin D deficiency. And so I like to use the Thorne brand of liquid drops or the Now brand of the vitamin D3. Both of these have the K2, which is recommended by Dr. Mark Hyman. Then I also take B12 vitamins, and I like to use this particular brand is one that I ordered off of Amazon after careful research. I've got a video coming up on how to be careful ordering from Amazon so that you don't get bad fake products. But I like B12, and these are drops. And then the final one, the 7th one that I do on a daily basis is the magnesium that I mentioned. I go back and forth between the magnesium citrate and the glycinate. This is in powdered form. I really like it. I mix it in with, sometimes I'll mix it with pure cherry juice and a shot of apple cider vinegar and a little bit of bubbly water. That makes a really fun kind of mocktail in the evenings, and I'll take it a few hours before I'm ready to go to sleep because magnesium also helps with sleep. And then a lot of times I'll just mix it with pure water and put 2 drops of peppermint essential oil. It's kind of chalky tasting, and so the essential oils are soothing to my stomach. They're very calming, and they just add a great taste to it. Now, I have a couple of other products here that I use, and these are what I call my cycling supplements. And what I mean by that is I don't take these on a daily basis. I cycle through them on a monthly basis. So some of them I'll do a month on, month off. And this is just an idea of those that I use. Quercetin with bromelain. This boosts immunity, combats allergies, joint inflammation. And I use the Now brand of that. And I'll take it for 1 month, and then I'll release it for a month. And then I'll take it again for a month, and then I go off of it for a month. Vitamin C. I love to use the Now brand of vitamin C. And when I travel, I definitely load up on vitamin C. When others around me are sick or when I feel something coming on, I definitely load up with vitamin C. L-lysine. This supports healthy connective tissue. I use the Now brand of L-lysine. I also use berberine. And again, this is one that I cycle. I'll do a month on, a month off. And if you go to my citations.lowertoxiclife.com page, you will find some research that's been done. One of the articles is National Institutes of Health, and you'll see some articles on how this has an Ozempic-like philosophy in what it does in helping your body regulate and lose weight. So you want to research that, because you don't want to be on a medication that you're on for life. Much better to get that extra weight loss support through a natural product. And then betaine, that's digestive support from Now I use. And then iron, I like to take iron 2 to 3 times a week. I use the Thorne brand. So 2 to 3 times a week, I'll take an iron supplement just to make sure that my body's getting everything that it needs. The brands that I mostly stick to are Pure Encapsulation, Thorne, Now, and Garden of Life. These are 4 brands that you can order off of Amazon. They have a storefront on Amazon, so you know when you order from that particular store brand, their actual verified store, you'll know that you're getting top quality, no fake, no extra fillers. You're getting the real deal. All right, so that's just some insight for you on what types of supplements, how to choose them, how to body test yourself, how to choose the experts that you're going to listen to and take advice from. Do you have a particular supplement that you love? Please leave it in the comments below. And again, head over to my blog, go to vitamins.lowertoxiclife.com to see these lists all laid out to where you can actually look through them and take some notes. I'm Jackie Ulmer. I'll see you on the next video.